at this question here. So a fishing boat sails from port A, so port A is right there, on a bearing of 200 degrees 15 minutes for 3.5 kilometers to point B. So if this is point A, so this red, north, south, east, west, those are your true bearing directions. So port A is right there. So from true north, because this indicates, but the way it is written down, this is a representation of true bearing, not compass bearing. So that's why we start from true north. So this is 200 degrees 15, so roughly greater than 180, so it would be somewhere there. And then it's going to point B, and from point B it changed the at B the fishing boat alters or changes the course and sails for 5 kilometers on a bearing of 315 degrees 40 minutes to point C. So at B, draw your true north, and then from there you measure 315 degrees 40 minutes with your compass, and then draw another line for the length of 5 kilometers. So this is how you would have done it. And then finally the question is asking, find the distance between the fishing boat needs to travel to get back to port A from point C. So this is a starting point. We traveled to B, went to C, and then finally we are trying to figure out how far you have to travel to get back to A. So basically the length of CA. In this picture, there are a couple of things that you need to know. All right, so this semicircle should be 180 degrees, but it is a little bit more than that. So if you want to know this little piece, all you have to do is take away 180 from this angle. So 200 degrees 15 minutes minus 180, that would be roughly like 20 degrees 15 minutes. So that's this angle. Now you know that the entire circle always makes 360. So if you take away 315 degrees 40 minutes, then you would end up as 44 degrees 20 minutes, because remember 60 minutes is 1 degree, so you'll end up with 20 minutes right here. But what is not shown in the picture is if the imaginary line connecting the west and the east, and you draw another parallel line passing through the point B, right? So this parallel to these two, and then AB becomes your transverse. So this little angle and this little angle are alternate interior angles. So even though this entire thing is 315 degrees 40 minutes, you need to get rid of this angle. So that's the only way you get the total angle inside the triangle, and in that way you can use cosine rule and get the opposite angle. So 360, take away this, you will get some number, and from that number make sure to add 20. This we know precisely what that is. So 20 degrees 15 minutes. So together it becomes 64 degrees 35 minutes. Yeah, so we got this little piece and then we added in this little piece. And how do we know this little piece? Because it is becoming an alternate interior angle. So I hope those angle measures are clear. So once you have all that, then you can find the side. C square is equal to A square plus B square minus 2AB cos C. The C was the angle that we were trying to figure out, which was 64 degrees 20 minutes. So when you substitute all this into your calculator, you get this value. Don't forget to square root because you started off with a square. So to get rid of the square, you do square root. And then that's your final answer. If you round it to 1 dp, it's 4.7 kilometers. Therefore, the fishing boat needs to travel 4.7 kilometers to get back to the starting point. Thanks, guys. Hopefully, this was a good example for you. And check out the other videos for more examples on cosine rules. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye bye.